Hey everyone, I'm back with another update. In this episode, I'll cover news related to drug cartels and terrorists, Minnesota's Somali fraud scheme mess, immigration related news, and Tyler Robinson's court appearance. Of course, I'll end with the noteworthy tidbits. The United States will be going through the legal process of seizing the oil from the Venezuelan tanker that was recovered, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent sanctioned family members of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. Sanctions were also placed on a Maduro-affiliated businessman, and 6 vessels have been identified that, in Bessent's words, have engaged in deceptive and unsafe shipping practices and continue to provide financial resources that fuel Maduro's corrupt narco-terrorist regime. President Trump said that drug traffic by sea is down 92% and that land strikes will be starting soon. Joe Kent, the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, confirmed they've blocked entry to 6,000 terrorists and added 35,000 narco-terrorists to their terror watch list. Director Kent also revealed that 18,000 known and suspected terrorists were let into our country by the Biden administration, and Congressman Sri Tanidar filed to impeach War Secretary Pete Hegseth for murder and conspiracy to murder in response to the strikes against narco-terrorists. On to Minnesota's Somali fraud scheme mess. Mike Lindell is running for governor of Minnesota, with his top campaign issues being stopping fraud and deporting illegal aliens, and it was confirmed that the restaurant owner, who previously hosted events for Ilhan Omar, stole $12 million. It's been revealed that 81% of Somali households are on welfare, with 73% on Medicaid versus 18% of native-born Americans, and 54% of Somalis receive food stamps versus 7% of native-born Americans. Congressman Brandon Gill pointed out that, considering the majority of Somalis are on welfare, they aren't self-sufficient and they don't assimilate, and even after a decade in the U.S., Somali families in Minnesota use astronomically more welfare than American families. It was discovered that Somali fraudsters stole $50 million in taxpayer funds meant to feed hungry kids to purchase a lakefront property, a Porsche, and tickets abroad, and a Somali refugee exposed the fraud in Minnesota is deeper than the public knows. He said he was told to refuse to assimilate, to get on Section 8 housing, and sign up for community benefits. Let's shift to immigration-related news. Border Commander Greg Bovino said Louisiana police and residents have surged resources to assist in illegal alien arrests, even offering federal agents gumbo. Bovino also said that not a single border agent has been assaulted in Louisiana, and that aside from one incident, protests have not been violent. Construction sites in Louisiana are being raided, opening those jobs up for Americans, and an illegal alien rapist and an illegal alien child abuser were arrested, making the community safer. An activist judge ordered the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia while he awaits deportation, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the administration will appeal this order. Kilmar was released and immediately spoke out against the Trump administration, delivering a speech that was, of course, not in English. Switching to Tyler Robinson's appearance in court. Tyler Robinson, the man accused of murdering Charlie Kirk, made his first in-person court appearance in the 4th District Court in Provo, Utah. The hearing, presided over by Judge Tony Graff, primarily addressed procedural matters including media and public access to proceedings, requests for transcripts from a prior closed hearing, potential restrictions on cameras in the classroom, and a gag order. Robinson's defense team argued for limiting media coverage to protect his right to a fair trial, and a coalition of news organizations pushed back for greater transparency. Part of the hearing was closed to the public, and Robinson appeared in civilian clothes, but shackled, amid heavy security. He interacted with his attorneys and family, including smiling at times, which drew commentary from observers and Kirk's supporters. No plea was entered, and no major rulings on the charges were issued. The case remains in the pretrial stages, with prosecutors seeking the death penalty on charges including aggravated murder. A preliminary hearing is tentatively set for May 2026. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Big Fork Brands. Let me tell you about them quick. Sometimes I get on a roll cleaning or gardening, and I need a boost, but don't have time for a meal. Big Fork Brands pork jerky is the perfect choice to keep my momentum, offering high-protein snacks for on-the-go energy boosts. Not only do they offer pork jerky, but they also make pork sticks, bacon sausage, bacon hot dogs, and burger and hot dog sauces. Products come in a variety of delicious flavors, including Thai green curry and maple and brown sugar for the meat options, and gangster and Chicago fire for the sauces. I personally think the original flavor of the pork jerky hits just right after tackling a big chore. It's a little salty and very flavorful. My discount code gives you 20% off your entire order, and it's currently the best deal available. Just visit bigforkbrands.com and enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. The U.S. trade deficit came in lower than expected, plummeting 53% over the past year. The stock market hit another all-time high. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick predicted 6% GDP growth, and gas prices are below $2 in a couple of states. The proposed new congressional map for Indiana's 2026 elections failed to pass, with 21 Indiana GOP senators voting against it. As a result, President Trump and allies announced immediate primary challenges to those 21 senators. The U.S. Senate rejected the Republican proposed Obamacare solution that gives money directly to the American people in HSA accounts, with Rand Paul being the only GOP no vote because he wants the ACA gutted even further. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told President Trump the blue slip tradition is here to stay, explaining, "This has been in place for a long time, both Republicans and Democrats support, and we've moved his nominees at a record rate. By the end of the year, we'll have a record number of his nominees approved." President Trump signed an executive order to block the states from regulating artificial intelligence, and he announced every new AI plant being built in America comes with its own energy-generating facility to ensure energy prices won't rise for Americans. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon revealed that close to 70% of Department of Justice attorneys quit her Civil Rights Division after President Trump was inaugurated. Representatives Tim Burchett and Ana Paulina Luna received a guarantee from Secretary of State Marco Rubio that $0 will be going to the Taliban, with the NGOs that were funneling money to the Taliban being cut off. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed that climate change grants have been canceled within FEMA, with the money being redirected for actual disaster mitigation. The U.S. House rejected Congressman Al Green's attempt to impeach President Trump, with 23 Democrats blocking the measure and 47 voting present. This was Congressman Green's seventh attempt to impeach President Trump in his political career, which his career is soon to be over because his district in Texas was drawn out in the new 2026 congressional map. The U.S. House passed a bill to undo Trump's executive order that was designed to rein in the federal bureaucracy, but this was all a waste of time because Trump won't sign a law that undoes his own executive order. President Trump pardoned Tina Peters, a 2020 election fraud whistleblower being held in Colorado. However, Trump does not have the legal authority to do so because the president's pardon power is limited to federal offenses only, and Tina Peters was convicted in Colorado State Court. An executive director of Black Lives Matter was charged with wire fraud and money laundering in Oklahoma after being accused of transferring over $2 million into her personal accounts after the George Floyd fundraising. President Trump signed 5 laws overturning Biden-era restrictions on energy leasing across millions of acres in multiple states, freeing up land for coal, oil, and gas leasing. That's all I have for today. I'll be back with another update soon. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and follow me on Instagram and X at Shades of Jade Pod. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.